Hey, I'm Eric Haugen. There's my social media information. Go ahead, like my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If this content is enriching to your life, it helps me out when you do that. Today, we are talking about ways to make up guitar parts. Before I do that, people are also curious about, how I film, what do I use. Here we go, ready? Those are two Canon T5i stock lenses. Here's my pedals. Not using my volume pedal today. There's my notes so I know what the heck I'm talking about. I am using the Wazacraft Chorus. I am using the Walrus Audio Tremolo. It has the really bright LEDs. Going into the, there's my Telecaster, the Vibrochamp with an attenuator. The voice is going to an iPad, and then, yeah, this is just my setup over here. There you go. Okay. This is from the perspective of, there's a couple of different ways I realized that, like, you would be making up guitar parts. It would either be for a loop, which we're not going to talk about today, a home recording, not exactly what we're talking about today, even though this is a home recording, or this is from the perspective of imaginary jam situation, just because that's what I was thinking about when I was like, well, how do I do this when I'm playing with other people? So this is more from that perspective, but the principles apply throughout. Okay, before we even play and talk about what we're playing, let's think about, say we're jamming with other people. Okay. Are we in tune? That's the first question. Okay, that's important to make sure our guitar is in tune. Next question is our tone nice? And what that means to me, really, all it means is, an in-tune guitar. Doesn't matter if it's a tube amp or not. I'm preferential to tube amps. The classic edge of breakup sound. Which Brian May actually so eloquently put it in, I think, his rig rundown, or maybe, I don't know, it's floating around YouTube somewhere. He talks about where you can hear the chords clearly, but there's still some sustain to the notes. That's kind of, I think that's the dream tone. That's kind of what we're all chasing all the time. So that for me means, yeah, that, I put a little bit of reverb on, which, by the way, that's added in post. That's Valhalla vintage verb. And not too bassy. Not too bassy. At least for me, the way I like to set my bass is I turn it all the way off, and then I slowly bring it back in until I just feel its presence there, which is about 2 or 3 usually, depending on the amp. I notice sometimes with students, they crank the bass because we're used to consumer electronics where like everything is about bass boost and bass punch, but that's for bass players and bass drums. I tend to think guitar sounds better, a little more sparkly, a little, not painfully sparkly, but a little sparkly. Anyway, that's what I think about when I think about my EQ settings, my reverb settings, my dirt settings. Not a lot, just enough. Next thing, is our volume appropriate for the room and the band or the humans that we're playing with? That's, we never want to be so loud that all we can hear is ourselves. That's not really appropriate. In an ensemble playing situation, you want to be able to hear yourself, of course, but you want to be able to hear everybody else, and hopefully everybody else is doing the same thing. They're not there just for themselves. So that does get into a little bit of a thing of amp placement. Notice my amp right now is behind me. If I was even cooler, I'd kick it up and aim it right at my ear with an amp stand or something like that. But in this room, it doesn't matter. There's nobody else playing with me. That's another thing for you getting together and playing with other people. If you have your amp at your calves and aimed that way, you'll just be cranking it up and cranking it up. And you're going to be like, why can't I hear myself? And the poor human being across the room from you is going to be going, oh man, why? Turn down, please. And be like, what are you talking about? I'm not loud at all. So think about the way sound moves around a room. And it would be irresponsible of me to say or not say that if you are playing loud music, you should protect your ears in some fashion. You don't want tinnitus. I have it. I live with it for the rest of my life, 24/7. Go ahead, get some good earplugs. I know it's not as fun, but is less fun. Okay, that's our sound, our amp, our guitar. Let's talk a little bit more just about our mindset before I get into the nuts and bolts of like how to do stuff with things. Okay, I said it before, this is an ensemble playing situation that I'm imagining, but this is again true for a track or something that you're working on. You want to play in such a way that you're going to make everybody sound good. not just you. This isn't about just you. This is about the everybody all together. And so that's why you're going to notice there's no hot licks today. No hot licks in this whole thing, because more often than not, it's not about that. It's about playing a simple thing that works with everybody else, and everybody else is doing the same thing, and it comes together to make music. And then, yeah, so that gets into the, yeah, let's not have tunnel vision for ourselves and our fingers, and like, can I do like a, and then maybe like, let's not do that. Let's spend more time listening to what's going on around us and less time thinking about what hot licks we can put into things. And then, yeah, and then the other thing to say about that, yeah, we gotta let go of our desire to blow people's minds. If we let go of that and just play things that sound nice and work, hopefully, ipso facto, we end up blowing people's minds, but not by ourselves, by everybody working together to make something cool. Okay, now let's talk about the actual playing and what I'm doing. Okay, let's throw it up here. Yeah, we got a 12-bar blues structure. I use these all the time. Everybody should be able to spit a 12-bar blues. Hate to say it, but it's true. I mean, it doesn't, it doesn't mean this. It doesn't have to mean that. It's just a really convenient structure to hang ideas upon, because it's a nice long loop. There it is. And I made this one Dorian, so it's like E minor, E minor. It's got an A major in there and a B minor, just to make it a little bit modal, make it a little bit Doorsy, a little bit interesting. Now, the first thing I do, if I'm in a jam situation with other people, and I'm not the one who's bringing the song to the jam, I literally will, this is the most important thing, I will literally just play exactly the thing that whoever the leader of the jam, be it the guitar player, keyboard player, whoever it is who came with the idea, I will play the exact same thing, the exact way that they played it. So say someone came in with that 12, say it was a song, and they're like, I wrote a song, and it goes, I'll turn my tremolo off. Before I even try and do anything cool, I'm just going to hang back and go. This is a very Knopfler thing I do, I know. You don't have to do it with your fingers. I like to play with my fingers a lot these days. I'm going to make a video about it, why I do that. But, I do the same thing. Just the same exact thing. You can ask my friend Randy, you can ask my friend Adam, you can ask my friend Joe, anybody I've ever been in a band with. That's what I do. Just so I know exactly what's going on. So I know exactly the form of the verse or the chorus or whatever it is, the thing that we're doing, so that I'm sure I know the form. And hopefully everybody else is doing the same thing as they're learning the song or the structure of the form. So that before I start to get fancy, I'm certain that everybody knows what's going on, including myself. It's an important thing. Now, assuming that all goes well, and everybody knows what's going on, and bass players got their part, and whoever else has their part, one of the first very, the simple thing I'll do without getting too distracting, the next step would actually be, in the same spot, I'm just going to do very simple little double stops, which again, a double stop just means two notes at once. Because this is E minor, and then A and B minor, I can throw minor pentatonic on the E, so you saw me, in the intro, you won't see me, but I'm going to put at the end of this, I'll run through all the permutations. There's about 7 different things I do, but here it is. So simple. only caveat I'll say about doing little growly pentatonic double stops is, were there a vocalist singing, you would want to hold back and wait till there was a gap in the singing to throw a double stop. So you might end up doing some part that I'm not going to sing and play, but where it's not so much going on. You're listening to hear what's going on and to watch out. Also, yeah, watch out for bass players. I generally try to not do a fill when a bass player is doing a fill, unless our fills are complementary. That's a whole other thing, because yeah, there's many a time I've had to be like, wait, what are you doing? Wait, where are you? And I'm over here? Okay, well, we either got to match up or we got to choose who's doing the fill, but that's a different story. Now, the next thing, you know, one of my favorite things to do, my friend Daniel, my luthier and rhythm and great guitar player, we play together sometimes. He always talks about how much he loves a rake. And that's how I started this video, with, you know, a tremolo pedal and a rake. It's such a sound, that is such a mood. So yeah, that's one thing you could do. And yeah, those are just whole notes, man. But it evokes a lot. So yeah, notice, yeah, it doesn't have to be hot licks. It don't have to be hot licks. So that's another thing you could do. Now, that's all down there. Of course, you could go to other locations. So let's go to other locations. Let's go up here. That's what you saw me do in the intro a little bit too. The next thing, you know, I think of this as a Beatles thing. Every one of the Beatles, when they played guitar, they would hit a chop on the backbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's A. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, I might put a color tone in there. It's kind of cheating, but you can see I put a sus4 on that. I think I put the G in there, make an A7. Oh, okay, I'll play through the whole thing. Actually, here, I'll just cut to it. I think I can talk while that's playing. Well, hopefully I'm imagining the audio mixing. But yeah, there it is. There's the backbeats. Yes, and then, all right, let's get that video out of the way. The other thing that I love to do, I call this a diddly variant. Same spot. You know, if Bo Diddley is, you know, the classic Bo Diddley is, which is what that is, and it's, I can't overemphasize this enough, how much that syncopation is throughout music. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4 coming at you, and that's going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, bang. It's going side to side across this, so it gets this serpentine thing happening. And so one of the variants of that would be in that same spot up high. Which is just, yeah, you'll hear that all the time. You know, if you got a thing going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you get this. It's great push and pull. And really, that's, like I said, that's a diddly variant. And there's just, yeah, there's so many ways to play around with that. And the last thing I'll do is, or talk about, I was talking about this with my brother. My brother's a bass player. Honestly, my whole family all plays instruments. Everybody, my uncle, my mother, my sister, my brother. My sister teaches music in Oakland. Like, yeah, we're all musicians in my family. So I was visiting my brother for Christmas. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. And we grew up in playing in bands together, so we like to talk about music all the time. And he has these very pithy wisdoms he'll drop from time to time. Like, hey, I'm going to make a video about this, like, you know, rhythm guitar and like coming up with parts. And one of the Dave Haugen wisdoms was, don't play all the notes at the same time. Well put, brother. That just means arpeggiate. I mean, there's a whole lesson I could do on this. We forget that we can do that. Great idea, Dave. I mean, yeah, great way to put it. You don't have to play all the notes at the same time. We don't have to go. We don't have to do that. He's totally right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, by the way, I'm going to put that backing track up for free on my Patreon. I'm also going to type all this out as like just grab it. I'll put that all together with it, like as a guide. There's going to be more videos about this concept, how to make up guitar parts. You know, it's a big concept. That's like basically saying like, oh, how to make a painting. You know, oh, how to write a book. You know, it was a big concept, but this is one that, notice, no fills, no flash. You know, minimal color tones. I wasn't doing a lot of, you know, there's other things we can do, like stuff with open strings or colors or pentatonic fills, but like I was really just trying to show like simple chord structures that to like think about. And again, the main thing is letting go of trying to blow your own mind. Like if we just make stuff that sounds nice and locks in, that's good enough. It's like, you know, the internet does what the internet does and makes us all feel bad about ourselves if we're not doing something mind-blowing. But the reality is most of the guitar parts in the music that we listen to, there's at least one layer that's really simple and just kind of the glue that holds everything together or ties things together. So that's what we're focused on for today. Thanks so much to everybody who supports me, even if it's just clicking like and subscribe, because that's how my business works. I depend on it. So by you clicking like and subscribe, that generates algorithm traffic. Algorithm traffic means website traffic, means people are booking lessons, they're purchasing my PDF downloads, they are supporting me on Patreon. Generally, all the ways that make my life cool, I appreciate, because yeah, you on the other end of this, we're all part of this. This is all one community. I am one end of it, and I appreciate all the positive engagement. As Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other. That includes yourself. I'll see you next week. Happy Friday. Eat pizza. Happy New Year. And so on and so forth. There we go. Do my Keanu Reeves walk.